Hello and welcome to this week's At Home with the Wayne. My name is Tracy Strait and I'm the Executive Director of the historic Wayne Theater Ross Performing Arts Center located in downtown Waynesboro, Virginia. Tonight, we are thrilled to have with us Anthony Wilkinson. Anthony is a writer, actor, multiple Daytime Emmy Award winner, two-time Directors Guild of America Award recipient, and the Executive and Artistic Director of the Edenville Performing Arts Center in New Jersey. It will be great catching up with Anthony. This evening's At Home with the Wayne is brought to you by our month of August sponsors, Well Planned Financial, your financial ally, Virginia Mennonite Retirement Community, Culture Awaits, Standout Arts, Waynesboro's top-rated web designer, Summit Square, where life is better. If you would like to become a sponsor of the At Home with the Wayne series, a partner in the arts, or make a donation to the Wayne Theater, please click on the waynetheater.org link in the description of this post just above the comments section. Once on our website, look for the orange box that says At Home with the Wayne. Please follow the prompts to make a donation or become a sponsor of any of our programming. We appreciate any support you can give. And now, here is Hank and Anthony.
Good evening. We are here tonight with Anthony Wilkinson, my good friend from New Jersey. Anthony, how are you this evening?
I am good, Henry. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we are so joyed to have you on the show tonight. And you are the artistic director of the Annabelle Theater in New Jersey. And
Yes.
Wonderful place. And you are just like we are here at the Wayne, keeping the doors open and giving content to the community. You want to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing up there?
Well, the Avenel Performing Arts Center just opened about a year ago. And we had our 1 year anniversary would have been in April, but we were shut down like everybody else in March. So we've been waiting to get orders from the governor that we can open in some form of capacity because we are a smaller venue. So we're waiting to get those hopefully soon green lights to do something. But we've been doing theater camps, which we can do. So we had a great summer program, which is just wrapping up this week. And we have more camps coming up in the fall. We're allowed to do some rentals. So we've been doing some dance recitals because that's considered education. So we're allowed to do that. So we've been doing what we can. Also, we have an outdoor bar and restaurant called Curtains. And we've been doing outdoor dining there. And we've had some bands. But we're really excited about getting our programming back. We've had to reschedule almost 8 to 10 shows. So hopefully, as soon as this is over, we can get back to normal. So,
and our watchers that are watching tonight out there, Anthony is a playwright, a director, a producer, and an artistic director of a wonderful theater and has won many awards and nominated for several Emmy Awards. And one of his big shows is My Big Gay Italian Wedding. And I want you to tell us a little bit about that, Anthony, and how you got the idea to start that show.
Well, My Big Gay Italian Wedding now, believe it or not, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but it's 18 years old. I wrote that almost 18 years ago, which feels like a lifetime ago. It was 2002 when I originally wrote that show, and I was at the time much younger. So I was kind of naive. I was in my early 20s, and I thought I really wanted to fall in love, and I wanted to get married. And at the time, gay marriage wasn't even a thought. It wasn't legal in any states. It wasn't, civil unions weren't even a thought at that point. It was pretty much just a fantasy. So I basically created this comedy to send a message to people that it was okay. Because I always tried to get my messages across through comedy, because people want to be entertained through laughter. They don't want to be entertained with political messages or anything that's serious. So especially my audience. So I created what at the time was a 50% fiction, 50% nonfiction story about someone who at the time I was in love with and I wanted to marry. And so it was a real life person, but I took it a step further on what would happen if I actually got married. So I took like my mother's character and my Antonian's character and some other characters in my life, some friends and family, and I created this farce of a comedy, which at the time I really thought was, I mean, it was fun, but it just took on a life of its own. And it started to develop in 2003 and 4, almost like this Rocky Horror cult following where people would come every week. And I started to get these regulars and they would just come week after week after week. And it was really contagious. And then I put that to bed and I wrote another show in 2006 called Boys Just Want to Have Fun, which was a great experience.
Right.
And then in 2009, I was running Boys, and then I got the call from other people that I had worked on Big Gay Wedding. And that was right about the time that President Obama was putting gay marriage at the head of the table. So it became a really, really hot issue at that time. And they said, you know, you had already done the wedding. It's time to bring this to a head. So we took that show, we revamped it. We cut some of the cast because I had 24 people because I thought that might work in my crazy head when I was in my early 20s. And I cut it down to like 16 people. And it made its way off Broadway. And that's when I left One Life to Live and I started to pursue that full time. And we got an equity showcase and an equity show. And we were doing, at the time, 8 shows a week. And it was incredible. It was really incredible. Mm-hmm.
And we have an interview right now that is for My Big Gay Wedding. Let's look at that.
Oh.
The Italian Boys are back in town. The cast of Off-Broadway's My Big Gay Italian Wedding has returned to St. Luke's Theater for more crazy dancing, romancing, and of course, giant hair. So what is My Big Gay Italian Wedding about?
My Big Gay Italian Wedding is my own story that I wrote in 2003. And in 2003, when I wrote it, it was about the idea that gay marriage could one day be legal.
It's about Anthony and Andrew, who are a couple, and it's their whole journey of putting up a wedding.
It's a very funny show, and you should come to see it because it's not a traditional show.
What's so great about a gay wedding anyway? I mean, what's the fuss all about?
Well, okay, first of all, it's not just a gay wedding. It's a gay wedding that takes place in Brooklyn with Brooklyn and Staten Island people. So it's not only fantastic and fabulous and fashion and music, but it's also extremely loud, and the hair is really, really big.
Tell me, I mean, what kind of crazy characters am I going to meet when I come see the show?
A little Staten Island, a little Italian, some prototypical Italian mom, like the Goomba, like the best friend. Anthony is the type of his own. He's the most unique person ever.
A drag queen, many Guidos, many over-the-top fabulous people.
So, I mean, you're running around, you're dancing, you're going crazy. Can you please give us a couple of your signature dance moves in the show?
Well, let's just say that we do a number called the Booty Shake, and there is a lot of shaking of booty going on. So let's just leave it at that.
They drive their car and they do this thing like this, and I just sit there and clap. So, but I do the chicken dance.
Is this autobiographical? Is this what your family's like?
There's a lot of autobiography in it. The characters are all, most of them based on real people in my life. Some of the names have changed to protect the innocent, but no, but there is, I would say it's 80% autobiographical.
What kind of a night am I in for when I come to see My Big Gay Italian Wedding? What kind of a night am I going to have?
Well, think about the last wedding you went to, and I'm sure you gave a very generous envelope. This time, you don't have to give an envelope, and you'll have just a good time, and I promise you we won't seat you by the band to the bathroom.
You're gonna have a blast.
It will be very loud, it will be very funny, and it will be very bright, maybe some feathers. I'm not gonna say definite, but there might be feathers involved.
what a amazing experience. What was that like for you, Anthony?
Uh, I got,
I can't imagine a show that you wrote, spent a lot of time in workshopping, and the excitement of it going off Broadway and becoming a hit.
it was, I gotta say, it was definitely 2009, 10, 11, 12. I mean, everything continues to be a new adventure, but that chapter specifically, 2010, stands out the most. It was just one of the best moments of my life. It really was, because that was the moment where we really were full force. And it, like I said, it just was amazing. The experience was unbelievable. The friendships that were created, the relationships that were created, even on stage, off stage, behind stage, the fans, the people that supported this show. It was just unbelievable. It was just so nice to live in that world, and it was great. It was, and it was, I mean, and there was so many highlights. I mean, we could be here all night if I named them all, but the one that jumps out the most was when gay marriage did become legal. And it was like being backstage, we watched it happen state by state.
Yeah.
So it was, oh, it's legal in Massachusetts, it's legal in New York, it's legal here, it's legal there. And then all of a sudden, one day we got I remember being backstage and like they just passed it in the whole country. And it was like, I never thought I would live to see it. I never thought I would live to see that, never mind be on stage for it. But I never thought it would all happen so fast. And it did. So that was pretty amazing. But seeing it come to fruition as a movie was probably the big highlight.
Yeah, and those who are watching, his show actually got made into a movie. And please tell us about that.
Well, there was this Italian actress, her name is Sabrina Ferrelli. And I was doing the show at St. Luke's. And I got my stage manager, Robert Levinstein, who I adore. He was came to me backstage and he said, "There's an Italian actress who wants to meet you after the show." And I'm like, "Who?" And he's like, "Sabrina Ferrelli." I'm like, "I never heard of her." So then intermission comes and then he looked at me. He's like, "No, I Googled her. She's a big deal." And I was like, "All right, I'll meet her." Now she barely spoke English, and my Italian is not that great. So together we barely connected, but her fiance was there and he was kind of like the translator. And I called a very close family member of mine who's from Sicily, Angelina, and she said, "Oh no, that she's a big deal." Like she was all excited. She knew who she was. And so I knew this was something to take seriously.
Yeah.
And then she basically flew us out to Italy to discuss the arrangements for the film. And she loved the play. She really thought at that time what was happening was the Pope, that there was a new Pope who was a little more liberal. And they thought it was a good time to bring the wedding to Italy. Yeah. And she was definitely more of somebody like a modern revolutionary public figure who wanted to be the one to do that. She had a big gay following in Italy. So she wanted to be the one to do it. Long story short, it started off with her, then there was a pause, and then she wound up not being involved because she sold it or something went skewy. And I thought it actually wasn't going to happen. And then 2 years later, I got the phone call that they were in production. So we went back to Italy, and it was like unreal. Next thing you know, we were flying out for the opening in Rome, and then we went to Milan for the opening. And now it's on Amazon. So it's great. It's in all the languages.
Yeah.
It's
you know, we have some wonderful questions coming in. A lot of people watching. Leslie Larson is out there watching. Are you writing a show right now?
Yes, my big gay Italian quarantine.
You're not joking, are you?
No, I'm not joking. And anybody
I love it. You know, that's where, you know, all your stuff comes from, when there's stuff in your head and new ideas come out, and you must always be, as a director, writer, a producer, that you're constantly coming up with ideas. Would this work for a show? Would this work for a show? And how does your mind work? Because
you live it. I live my ideas. Everything I live, I write.
Yes.
The wedding was based on something I lived. The funeral was based on something true to life. My midlife crisis, the Christmas, all of them were based on some sort of real life moment. And it's those real life moments that create, I think, that create the stories. So, and that's why when people always say to me, well, what's next? I say, well, I have to live it first and then I can write it. That's why my Big Gay Italian Quarantine, I think, is perfect. But so I already have the story in my head. I don't know how it ends yet because it hasn't ended. And uh, and I won't release it until it's time when we can all hopefully sit back and laugh about it. And now is that time.
Now it's not that time. Yeah.
No.
So after Gay Wedding, you had a slew of shows that you wrote. And can you tell us a little bit about those?
After the wedding was a funeral, and that was based on my dad's funeral. And it was all the crazy things that can happen in an Italian wake funeral. And I wrote that in 2011. And then after that was my Big Gay Italian Midlife Crisis,
yes,
which happened when I became single in my late 30s and had a breakdown. That was a real story. And then my Big Gay Italian Christmas was the story of dating a married man who I didn't know was married to a woman and was living a double life. That was a true story. So, oh yeah. So again, it's half real, half fiction.
Yes.
The genesis of each piece is based on a real chapter of my life. And then I embellish, create, and take the characters that people know and love and make it into a theatrical comedy. Everything's always a comedy. Sometimes a little hint of serious, but my goal is always to make people laugh.
Now, I'm curious, like we've talked about your show and your writing, and when did you start? What got you into theater, and what got you in the purpose of writing? I mean, was it your love for acting, or was it love for just, as being a director, or tell us your story?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to go back to really, because I always loved to write plays. I was writing plays back in high school. I performed back in high school. I did a lot of shows when I was in New York High School. That was more performing, but I was writing on the side. When I got to NYU, I got my degree in English with specialization in creative writing. So I took a lot of creative writing classes and playwriting classes through Tisch. And I got the bug probably when I took this course called Theater in New York. And it was a great course because every week you went to a different off Broadway show. And I mean off. Like these black box venues, they were like 99 seaters. And it was a great way to really experience New York theater in the Village. And I was coming out at that time. It was really a very pivotal role in my career and just in finding out who I was as a person. So there was a lot of creative energy, and it really helped me explore who I wanted to be. When I started at One Life to Live, I originally went into the writing world, but then wound up on the production side. And even though that was a great experience for me, the passion for writing theater was always, so I always had to do that on the side. And until I could do that full time was when I finally left. But yeah, I think it's just something in you that you just have to do.
Yeah. And, as we are, creating in our minds, the things as directors and, playwrights do is that we go from experience and emotions that we're feeling, and we share that, and it's a great thing because that's what makes us artistic, and to share it.
Yeah.
And what you do, Anthony, is amazing, and
Thank you.
your shows are fantastically funny, humorous, musicals, and off the hook. Crazy. Anyone that has ever seen your shows knows what I'm talking about, and it's always a pleasure. So do you have any plans to launch anything at the Annabelle Theater, any of your shows?
Well, we Midlife Crisis, my Big Gay Italian Midlife Crisis, is scheduled right now to open October 1st.
Nice.
And the Christmas show is scheduled to open the first week in December. So we have my Big Gay Italian Midlife Crisis and my Big Gay Italian Christmas coming to Avenel. We're all ready. I'm just praying that we can open by October 1st. I'm hoping we can open by September 1st, but you know, as you know, it's just a waiting game. So assuming everything, at least we can open in some shape or form. Midlife Crisis is October 1st.
Yes.
And then Christmas is December 1st.
And you were doing
again next spring.
Yes, and you were doing right now, you're doing a lot of summer camps for your community, for your theater, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, this, we recently had hired this marketing manager. Her name is Carrie Rubino, and she's from the Paper Mill Playhouse. And she just started with us in March, right before the COVID started. She's fantastic. And she's a great teacher, and she had done educational programming at Paper Mill for almost 20 years. She was there for 20 years. I'm not exactly sure how many years she was doing that, but she's very good at what she does. And she brought that to Avenel. So she's been teaching it along with this musical accompanist, Charles, who she worked with over at Paper Mill. And we were sold out as much as we could be, because of course there's a capacity limit under these circumstances. So we have a morning session and an afternoon session. So this is the last week for that, but we're starting the fall camp, which is going to be a little broader because it's going to start in September. It's going to go all the way through December. And there's 2 different age brackets again. And then in December, they're actually going to rehearse all throughout the fall for actual full production. Right now, they're just doing a piece of a production. They're going to actually do a full production. So I think it's a great idea. When she told me about it, I was thrilled. And the parents in Avenel and Woodbridge area who have signed up their kids all seem to be very happy. So
yes, and we're doing the same thing there. We're offering summer camps, and it's just a wonderful thing to reach out.
Yeah,
as theaters, we're all thinking we have to keep engaged with our community, and it's so important. And we love that that you're still doing that right where you are too. And so as far as
well, I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure if anybody's watching who is in our field, I think what you're saying is correct. We're all being challenged right now, daily, on how we can make the best of a bad situation.
Yes.
What can we do? We know what we can't do, but what can we do? So I keep getting constant emails and pictures about viral this and that. And it's just, I think everybody's really trying to do what they can in this time. And it's a challenge. It really is a challenge.
Yes.
Because let's be real. I mean, there's nothing like live theater. And until we can get back in the theater, this is all just filler. So I'm working with it all, but I'm very anxious to get back on stage.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Tupperware lady.
Yeah, she was great. Dixie's Tupperware party. Now that's in June.
Yes. Yes, but that was so funny. It was fun to see her on the stage and on your show. So as far as plans for your shows, are you planning on doing anything else? Big plans. What are your big plans for right now as far as writing and everything else?
Well, as far as the wedding, funeral, midlife crisis, and Christmas go, they're all available through Concord, Sam French. They all get picked up and licensed around the country, around the world. I know they were all just in Australia before the COVID. So I let other people do it. And if they want, they fly me in to go see the opening. If not, I understand. But I let different cities, I know there's a lot of licensing opportunities that are put on hold, but the wedding is played in almost 50 major cities.
Yes.
So that's my plans for those. I will continue to do them in Avenel because that's where my home is right now. But as far as them playing in other places, I let people do whatever they want to do. There's nothing actually more gratifying as a writer than to see someone else do your work. There's nothing more rewarding than to go in to the opening night of your own show and watch somebody else did to it.
Yes.
like people are always nervous, like, oh, what's he gonna say? And I remember going to Louisville and Tulsa and to London, and people were all like thinking, and I loved it. I felt like the proud father. I just sat there and clapped, and I was so excited. So I look forward to those experiences.
Because they always invite the writer to come to the show, right? You know,
they sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. There's been a couple of times they didn't. They were like, oh no, leave him home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, and I would love to get my hands on one of your shows. Just don't know which one yet. You know, I would love to see one of your shows come to Virginia, because I don't think I've not seen anything around in Virginia of one of your shows. And so
Virginia is one of the states that has been in. No, I think we've been in 30-something states. Virginia is one of them we haven't. Yeah.
Yes, and you know, maybe we can get your shows down there. That would be great. And so, any big plans this summer to go on vacation anywhere?
Have you looked at the calendar, Henry?
I know, but I know you're always going on trips, which is great. And
where are we going? We have to quarantine for 14
we have to quarantine. I know, right?
The Jersey Shore.
There you go. There you go. Well,
I like to feel like I'm in the Caribbean, but I'm not. No.
I know you just need your little hat with your little drink, with your little umbrella.
Exactly. I'm actually
ready
for Labor Day weekend. That's an exciting.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to Provincetown. It's
oh, nice.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend is Provincetown, and for work I'm going to Pittsburgh to see some of my good friends out there. We're going to work on a couple of things in the end of September. I actually work with Maria Caruso, and I'm going to be speaking at La Roche College, and they've been great. They do some college giveaways with scholarships and stuff with us in Woodbridge Township. So we work really well together, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff. So that's a work trip, Pittsburgh. But I like going to Pittsburgh. I would call it a vacation, but it'll be interesting. And as far as anything, and then I got to go somewhere. I usually like to go away wherever there's water to write. So I have to write my new show. So I figure that'll probably be in the new year, like the beginning of the new year. I'll go like in January, February, I'll take my vacation and go to like an island, like the Bahamas or something. And I'll go for a week and just decompress by myself and write my new show.
Yeah, and you've visited Wayne Theater. Tell us what you thought about the Wayne.
I loved the Wayne Theater. Well, first of all, I love Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy was one of the first people I met when I became an executive artistic director. And when I signed up for my first conference, it was at Arts Midwest, and I want to say it was in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. And, you know, it's one thing to have a lot of experience in the theatrical world with Broadway and off-Broadway and all that stuff, but it's another thing to be an actual presenter. Yes. And do what we do now. So I didn't have that kind of experience. So I signed up for a mentor, and they made Tracy my mentor. So when I met Tracy from the Wayne, I was very excited because she was such a sweetheart. And she really did. She taught me a lot that trip, and she was just great. And we connected, and we stayed in touch, and I saw her at a bunch of other conferences. And then she told me to come out to the Wayne Theater and meet you and meet all your people and see what you guys did. And it was not what I expected in a good way. It was just, first of all, it was immaculate. It was beautiful. What a beautiful area. And the shows that you guys do are really very, very high quality. It's a beautiful venue. What you guys have done is incredible. I was very impressed. Very, very impressed. I wasn't as impressed with the airport, but it was...
We're not mentioning any airports' names.
Oh my God, that airport. But
I know.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful. I love the Iris Inn.
And you like the Iris Inn, yes.
That Iris Inn. Oh my God, beautiful.
Well, Anthony, it has been wonderful to have you with us tonight, and a pleasure seeing you, my friend. And I can't wait to see you again. And we want to thank everyone that watched and tuned in tonight. And let's give a big wave to everyone. Thank you all for watching tonight. Yeah. Anthony, anything last to say tonight?
Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and stay in touch. because hopefully this will all be over soon and we can all reconnect in
Yes.
person.
Good night. Thank you for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there. We'll see you at the Wayne.
Thank you so much, Anthony. You're such a hoot and such a great entertainer. Thank you all for watching At Home with the Wayne tonight. Please keep checking our Facebook page and YouTube channel for lots more fun from the Wayne. These presentations would not be possible without the support of our Wayne Theater patrons, partners, sponsors, and friends. And once again, we'd like to thank our month of August At Home with the Wayne sponsors. Well Planned Financial, your financial ally. Virginia Mennonite Retirement Community. Culture Awaits. Standout Arts, Waynesboro's top-rated web designer. Summit Square, where life is better. If you would like to become a sponsor of the At Home with the Wayne series, a partner in the arts, or make a donation to the Wayne Theater, please click on the waynetheater.org link in the description of this post just above the comment section. Once on our website, look for the orange box that says At Home with the Wayne. Please follow the prompts to make a donation or become a sponsor of any of our programming. We appreciate any support you can give. Please join us next Wednesday evening for At Home with the Wayne as we welcome back two of the leading actors from our upcoming Little Shop of Horrors production, Casey Hott and Jacob Duvall Early. Casey and Jacob will be joining Hank Fitzgerald, our director of original programming, and we are sure to hear a song or two from that show. We look forward to having Little Shop on our stage as soon as we can. Monday movies are back at the Wayne Theater, and Monday, August the 24th, we will have King Creole, starring Elvis Presley at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Thank you again for joining us this evening. Please be safe, be hopeful, check in on your loved ones, and we'll see you next time At Home with the Wayne. Good night.